What's going on, y'all? Site Perspectives, giofvcks. Another thing that needs to be discussed. Basically, everybody that's working outside of their house, outside of their home, they have to be out in the public. They have to go to a building and be around other people. Everybody working outside, in the public, in buildings, should be paid hazard pay. It's sad that here we are in an ongoing pandemic. We've only received one stimulus check, $1,200 2 months ago in April. And then that's if you received your stimulus check. I was privileged, blessed, lucky to receive my stimulus check in April. There's people still who haven't received the stimulus check. And we only received that once. And what is $1,200 when you got rent that's $1,200, okay? So I'm just throwing that out there. But anyways, then even at the very height, right, when we first started getting into the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic, and they were supposed to be paying people hazard pay, which was supposed to be $2 more an hour, depending on where you live. Okay, even in that whole ordeal, right, there were still people not being paid hazard pay. And now more and more people are out working in the public, outside of their homes, every day we're putting our lives at risk by being out here. And you're not paying us a living wage. You're not paying us hazard pay. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I feel like this is, like I said in my previous video, we totally need a resurgence of the labor rights movement. That now is the time. If there's never been a time, now is definitely the time. We cannot sit over here and continue on the way we're doing. It makes no sense that people are working full-time jobs and still unable to make ends meet. It's ridiculous. It's 2020 and people are still making less than $20 an hour. And I don't get how you can, with good conscience, be okay with people working full-time jobs and still struggling to make ends meet. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and we really do need to stand up and speak out about this. Everybody that's working in the public deserves hazard pay. And everybody working, period, deserves a living wage. I'm gonna talk about some my personal story with this situation with these jobs. So at my job, I work the 11 to 8 p.m. shift, which is technically a premium shift, and you're supposed to be paid a 10% premium. So you get your hourly wage plus a 10% premium, supposedly. Now, this job that I'm working, mind you, and this is what's really about to get you, I work in corporate America, okay? I work in corporate America, yet I am not making corporate America money. There are people working at fast food restaurants that make more money than people working at where I work, which is fine, because I'm gonna always say this, regardless of what you do for a living, what your job occupation is, what your education is, you having a full-time job, you should be making a living wage, period. Point blank, period, okay? But just to put it out there, right? When I first hired in, they were talking $13 an hour. And I negotiated for $14 an hour. I am now at $14.49 an hour, even though I'm supposed to be at $15.96 an hour with the premium, plus the 3% merit increase that we received back in February. Yet when I look at my pay stubs and I look at my hourly wage, it still says $14.49 an hour, which doesn't make sense because I'm supposed to be getting this premium, supposed to have the 3% merit increase. But again, welcome to corporate America, where you're not even making $20 an hour, yet you're working for a company that's constantly bragging about the millions and billions of dollars that we're turning out in production every month, yet we don't get to see it in our income. We don't get to see it in our paychecks. It doesn't make sense to me. What's the point of working in corporate America when you're not making corporate America money? When I think about working in corporate America, I'm gonna be honest, I'm thinking $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year and up. I'm thinking six figures. You feel me? 100,000 and up. That's what I'm thinking about. Not less than $30,000 a year. Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Especially again when you see how this company is constantly boasting and bragging about how great it is to be here and be you here and all this other cliche bullshit. But in the meantime, you don't pay people living wages. We don't have profit sharing. There's just no real reason of sticking around here. I mean, and I'm already in the process of applying to other jobs. I've been here for almost 16 months, almost a year and a half, and it's the same thing. Like, I can't continue to work somewhere where I'm not making a living. Like, I can't. And this is exactly why a lot of millennials, a lot of Gen Zers, we basically have to job hop because, again, I've been here over a year and I'm not seeing any upward mobility or growth here. There's people on my team who make $12 an hour, yet we work in corporate America and we are doing, basically, we do financial investigations. We investigate, the wire, where the money is going, where it's being wired to, making sure these places are licensed properly.